start sharing my screen in just a second, and then we'll go through kind of what this process is going to look like once you've been added as an exhibitor, and all the way through kind of what it's going to look like on the day of the event. So let's go ahead and get started. There we go. So, okay, when you are added as an exhibitor to a booth in the Neighborly United event, the very first thing that's going to happen is you're going to get an email that basically looks like the one that we're looking at here. It's going to say you've been granted access to an Accelevents account, and then you just click access the account to go ahead and access that actual booth that you've been added to. But yeah, so from here, once you click that access the account button, it's going to take you straight into that booth. And that's going to look something like this. You're going to have on the left-hand side your My Booth area, and then your vendor show area where you can see your booth and other booths that are in that vendor show. But this My Booth is kind of the main thing we want to be concerned about right here. So when you're in here, this is where you are able to not only set up your booth, but also see all of your leads and chat with people that have been collected as leads, and kind of manage your general chat and stuff like that. So we'll go through each of these tabs that you'll see right here. Starting with the leads, you'll have this leads list. Obviously, we don't have anything, any data in here right now, but basically, as you can see, you'll have people's name, their company, the rating, which is basically going to be cold, warm, or hot based on the amount of activity they had in your booth, just to kind of give you an idea of, maybe how potentially interested they might have been in your company or in your product or anything like that. Then we've got, of course, their email, their phone number, the owner and the source and the action. So the owner would be if they reached out to one of the company reps in your booth directly. Then they would be listed there as like the owner of that lead because they were the ones that, technically collected it. And then source would be how they were collected as a lead. So there's a few different ways that people can be collected as a lead. Just by joining your booth, they aren't automatically collected. They have to take some kind of action within that booth, whether that is watching the live stream or joining the live stream, clicking, there's a button for request a meeting that we'll see here in a bit. They can click that booth or that button to be collected as a lead. They can download a document to be collected as a lead, and they can chat with one of the exhibitor admins that are in that booth to be collected as a lead. All right, so that is the leads list right here, and you can download that lead list. You can add a new lead if you need to. If you manually collected that information from somebody that you want to go in and manually add them, you can do that. Then you've got the chat with a lead tool here. This is where you can see all the different channels that you are a part of, which by default you're just going to be a part of your own booth's channel. But then if you join other booths, you may see those channels there. If you have any direct messages that have come in from any of your leads or anybody else, you can check those there. And basically, you'll just be able to communicate right there within this section to chat with your attendees, whether that is, again, through a direct message to only them, or to this, your booth channel, which would be shown to everybody that is in that booth, whether they're an attendee or another exhibitor or whatever. That's just an area where everybody can chat kind of back and forth with each other. And we'll see what this looks like on the front end too. But first, I just wanted to show you kind of what the back end looks like here. You also always have the ability to download the exhibitor chat up here in the top right-hand corner. So maybe at the end of the day or whatever, you want to go in and download all the chats that came through in your booth. You have that option. You'll also see actively how many people are in your booth with this number right here. Once somebody actually, clicks into your booth, that number will be actively updating in real time and showing you exactly how many people are in there. Then we kind of go into some of the setup. So the company details here is where you can set up the actual details of your booth. You'll be able to go in and set up your event logo, or sorry, your company logo right there. When you click on that, it'll give you the dimensions that we're looking for. So the optimal dimensions are 700 by 350 pixels, but as long as it's a 2-to-1 ratio, so twice as long as it is tall, it should be fine. Then you'll have your stream provider, which is going to be Accelevents. That is when you want to do a live stream within your booth. This is where you would start that. So you can just click launch live stream from here to start it from the back end. You can also just start it from the front end, which we'll take a look at that too. But we'll actually take a look at what that looks like when you're doing a live stream here in a bit. But I want to finish out, showing the rest of the back end before we do that. Then we've got the promo video URL, which is just like a static YouTube video. If you have maybe like an ad or some kind of like demo video that you want to be showing people that they can watch at any time, that's the best place to put that. You then have your exhibitor description, which allows you to just type out whatever you want to about your particular company or your organization. This can really be as long as you need it to be. You can include images, you can include videos within that. It's really kind of up to you how that looks. Then you have the offer and the offer link. This is where if you had just like some kind of special offer you wanted to give to attendees that joined your booth during this event, you could put that offer link in here. As you can see, like they have it set up here, you can kind of set up whatever the meat of that offer section will be. And if you want to put multiple links in there, you can. If you just want to use this one link to put your offer link there, and it's just the one thing, that's fine too. But you can set up details about that offer here in that offer section. And these are each going to be different tabs in your actual booth, which we'll look at here in a second as well, just to kind of give you an idea of what that's going to look like. You can go ahead and add your social media links, so any of your Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or LinkedIn profiles you can connect here, as well as you have the ability to upload any document. So if you had like a flyer or a PDF or something that you wanted people to be able to download from within your booth, you have that option of uploading those documents there. There's no real limit to the number of documents that you can upload there, so you can put as many as you need to. And then you also have something down here called Manage Document. This is for like if you had something that was maybe a Google Drive link rather than an actual document to be downloaded. You could put the document name and put the document link there and then submit it right there. And it would basically still be shown in that same section, but it would just be a link to whatever that document is and wherever they can download that rather than just downloading it straight from there. All right, so that covers kind of the setup of the booth, at least on the back end. Then you have your team tab. This is where you can add your own team members. Anybody that should be in here in the booth with you, you just click Add New Staff, and you have a couple different roles you can add. So one is the exhibitor admin. Anybody that is an exhibitor admin has full access to setting up all the details that we saw in that company details page, where you're setting up your video, able to do your live stream, able to set up anything else. Whereas a lead retriever only has access to chatting with the leads and being able to interact with the leads and putting messages in the chat and downloading the leads list and stuff like that, but they don't have any of that back end setup access. So somebody like that would not have the ability to change any details in the booth. They would only be able to interact with people and collect leads, through that. So once you add somebody here with the first name, last name, and email, then they would receive that same email that we looked at before, and then they would have their own access with their own email address through there. Then the last tab you'll have here is your products. So this would be like if you had some products that you wanted to push people towards to go ahead and buy while they're there in your booth, you can set up the products tab. You just click Add Product, put in a name, put in a price, add a description about that product. If you wanted to add a percentage or a flat discount, again, maybe just for, if they're visiting your booth, they can get a discount on this particular product. You can add a discount there. And you can also upload an image for that product. And there's not a way for them to actually purchase that, directly within our booth or within the booth, but you will have the, ability to show them what it is and send them to wherever you need them to go to actually purchase that. So that is everything that we wanted to cover in the My Booth area. And just to show you one other way that you can kind of control some of these things that we've been looking at, if you just log into Accelevents, just go to accelevents.com and log in with your email address that you've been added as an exhibitor with, then you also have access to this exhibitor portal. So this drop down in the top right hand corner whenever you're logged in, you just go to that exhibitor portal, and then you basically have access to all the stuff that we've been looking at, just in a different area without actually going into the exhibitor or the event itself. You have access to setting up the team members, going into your leads area and collecting those leads, and also setting up the details on the back end. So I'm looking at a different demo event because I've been added to multiple events as an exhibitor. And so I can go in and see whichever booth I'm needing to manage at that particular time. I can go in that drop down and see whichever one I want to control. So if you are an exhibitor in multiple different events on our platform, this is a good way to kind of choose between those different booths that you needed to go in and control. But like I said, it's pretty much the same setup, just laid out a little bit differently, but all the details are the same. You can still add your description and your video and your offer and everything like that. But I just wanted to point that out just in case you're entering Accelevents from anywhere other than that email that you receive when you first get added. Okay, so that is, again, all the back end setup. And now I want to show you what that is going to look like from the front end side. So we have this Pro TradeNet booth that we were looking at. This is where you will have the live stream that is available. If somebody is live streaming, they will be shown there, and you can join that live stream if you're an attendee, and you can still be shown on camera. If I went ahead, since I'm added as an exhibitor admin, if I went ahead and click join, it would go ahead and start that broadcast, and then anybody else could join, and I could still, control that broadcast from my end here. And again, we'll take a look at this a little bit more in detail here in a second, but I just wanted to show the rest of this booth before we do that. So you have your live tab. You then have your video tab, which is, that's where the YouTube video that you uploaded is going to be, so they can come in and watch that at any time. You then have the company details. So, we just have a very basic message here in this example booth, but of course, whatever details you've put in that company details page will be listed there. As much or as little as you've put in there, it'll show the full details. Then the offer tab, which they've customized to show as show special, which they have the ability to change that, the labeling of that tab if needed. That's where this is going to live, so they can see all the details that you've put in there, and you can click on any of those links. And then the featured products, you have that vendor card that they have set up here, that you can look at the different products that you have and go through there. So that is kind of the different tabs. But then on any of these tabs other than featured products, below that you'll also have this request a meeting button. This would be available for any attendee to just go in and click that button to be collected as a lead, basically. And then any of your lead retrievers or exhibitor admins could reach out to that person and set up a meeting with them. Your documents and links are all going to live right here, and all your social media links also live in that same section. And then the company reps, you can set up a direct chat with somebody if you want by clicking that message icon. And then as you see over on the right, it has a new tab that is just a direct message to that one person rather than a general chat to anybody that is in this booth. And then you also have a set up a meeting option. So if you wanted to try to, set a meeting with that person rather than doing just a one-on-one text chat, this would be an option for you to set up like a one-on-one video meeting with that person. And so you could select whatever date you wanted to select. And then if it's just the one day, it's only going to show the one date, and then select whatever time you want for that meeting. And so then once you have set up a meeting, you would then have that ability to see those meetings that you have set up in the My Meetings tab. And then once that time comes, you just come to this My Meetings tab and click Start Meeting on whatever meeting it is at that time. And then you'll be able to do that, like I said, one-on-one video chat with that person. Another thing to keep in mind is you have this, for me, it says hello, Carson, because that's my name. But whatever your name is, of course, is going to say hello, your name. And then if you click on that, this is where you can set up your own kind of profile. So you can upload your own image there. You can set up your first and last name, and then any other details that you want. Really, as long as you have your name and your image there, it's going to be a great experience, because then when somebody's in your booth and they're chatting with you, you'll see their image there. So like we saw before, when I'm looking at the company reps, rather than just having a blank, image there, I'm actually seeing some images, and I can kind of tell who that person is. And when I reach out to them in the chat and stuff, it just makes it a little bit better of an experience, so they can get a little bit more personalized with whoever they're chatting with there. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at this live stream. So anybody from the Neighborly team that wants to join as well, go ahead and do that. So I'm going to click join here, and it's going to show me right there on the camera. And I can go ahead and set up my different camera options, my microphone options, my speaker options, and my video quality. I click join. And so I'm seeing myself here, and now I'm seeing double speak. So we're going to, Kathleen, if you can mute it on your end, I think that might be where it's coming from. There we go. So since we're in the Hangout and on here, it was giving a little echo there. But yeah, so basically this is just a way for any attendee to join this live stream. When they click join, as you can see, they can join on camera if they want. If they don't want to be on camera, they don't have to be. And then as an admin, I'm able to come in here and click this settings icon and then see the people that are in this meeting. And as you can see, it looks like Kelsey and Kathleen are both in, but Kelsey does not have her camera on. Kathleen does have her camera on, so I can remove Kathleen if I want to from camera or from the meeting completely. I can mute people, I can unmute people, I can turn on or off their camera. So you can kind of control who's in that meeting from there. There we go. I can turn Kathleen's camera back on right there. And so, yeah, you are able to, as an admin, fully control that. Obviously, any of your attendees are not going to have that same option. And then one other thing that you do have in this live stream is the ability to share your screen or share a video file. So if you wanted to just have like a pre-recorded video that you wanted to present during this live stream for whatever reason, you just click on that. It'll pull up your computer options, allow you to select whatever file you want, or you can just do a screen share and people can see whatever you wanted to share during that. So yeah, there can be up to 16 different people on camera in this live stream, and then up to, I think, 250 people that are able to kind of still watch and see what's happening and even chime in with audio, even if they're not one of those 16 people that are on camera. And by default, it's just going to show the first 16 people that join on camera. But then, like we saw, you can kind of kick somebody off camera if you wanted to put somebody else on there or anything like that. So yeah, that's kind of what that live stream does. And when you use this, you will be able to get some stats on who exactly joined and when they joined and stuff like that after the fact. So I'll go ahead and end that there. Like we saw before, if you go to the My Booth area, you also have the ability to launch that live stream straight from there. So you can either go to the front end and start that live stream if you're an admin, or you can go to the back end and launch it from here. Either way works. So yeah, I think that might cover everything that I wanted to talk about. So if you have any other kind of follow-up questions in the meantime, you have that access to our 24/7 chat. So don't hesitate to reach out there and ask really any questions that you have. Thanks, everybody. Bye.